Hey, Dan here, and in this video I'm answering a question from Jesse in San Diego about good career choices for ENFPs who are maybe more wired to be an entrepreneur or an artist and need a gig or a job of some sort to hold them over while they rebuild their financial base so that they can go for it again. So the situation Jesse shared is this. He's an ENFP and an entrepreneur at heart and knows that's what he ultimately wants to do. But in the past, when he's went for it as an entrepreneur, he's failed and ended up in some bad financial situations. So at this stage, he's not given up on the dream, but he wants to rebuild his financial base for a bit before going for it again. And he asked me, what type of careers could I do where I wouldn't essentially go crazy, where it might be at least a little bit stimulating, or at least I'd be able to put up with it for a couple of years as an ENFP. So I think there's two different routes you can go with this, and the same routes would apply for someone who's, let's say, an artist, a painter or writer, and wants to build their life around that art, but ultimately needs to be paying the bills at the same time. The first is to pick something that's going to be fun, that's going to be stimulating for you. This probably involves working with people, but that is not the same as what your business might be in the future. And just really something where you can disconnect and get into it. So you mentioned you're in San Diego. I'm sure there are a ton of outdoor activities, of tour companies, of things like that. Like, what if you took people out fishing? Like, you worked on a fishing boat where you took people out fishing for the day, or did walking tours of the city, or some kind of hiking, outdoor related thing. These come to mind for me because they'll be stimulating, you'll be working with people. It might not be the perfect career for you, but will probably be a good amount of fun. And it won't feel like you're locked away in some office that you really dislike the day-to-day of it. There's also a good chance that maybe you get into something like that and you find you enjoy the day-to-day of it. And then after a while you realize, hey, why don't I actually just start a business around that? Instead of just saying like, hey, here's some businesses people on the internet told me to start, or whatever it is, that you discover an opportunity within the job that you're actually doing, because you end up finding that it's really fun, but you see opportunity. You realize maybe the people that you work for or work around aren't as entrepreneurial as you, and you have these opportunities to do something a bit different. In a video I filmed a few years ago, I talked about some of the best jobs for artists are things where you just really don't like it. Like, don't like it like you hate it, but where you know that's not your long-term career. So something like being a bellman, a valet parker, a waiter or waitress, or is everyone just a waiter now? Or everyone's a waitress? Whatever it is. Some kind of a really hourly based job that you do to pay the bills that isn't terrible. This maybe involves some exercise or interaction with people, and that you can do that, but the thing is you don't ever really love it. And that's the point, that you won't get sucked into it and end up doing that forever, that you'll keep that pressure of wanting to do the thing you really want to do, whether that's an entrepreneurial business or some kind of art. The reason I'm expanding it in this video and saying to really focus on things that you'd actually enjoy is because you did mention needing a couple years to rebuild your finances. And it also opens up the possibility of discovering an entrepreneurial opportunity, right? So if you're doing something you really enjoy, maybe you organize some kind of tours locally and you find, actually, I love showing people my city. I love meeting new people from different cultures and coming up with the scripts and planning and taking people to little known local spots. Maybe you end up really loving that and deciding, hey, why don't I actually start a tour business? And then you have that experience already, which is a great place to start a business from. Now, the second way to go is think about the skills that you need to develop. You mentioned having some business failures in the past. Why did they fail? What do you need to know? What do you need to develop about yourself? What do you need to just discover in general to figure out in order to have a successful business in the future? Maybe reflect on that for a bit, make a list of those skills, and then look for some kind of job where you'll be learning those skills. Maybe your business failed because you hated to sell. You did not like talking to people about what you did. So no matter how good your product was, no one discovered you. Well, then I might suggest getting some kind of a job in sales with a really good mentor, someone who will invest in you and help you develop that ability. Entrepreneurship and management are also skills. So maybe you can find someone you can work for in a small company where it's a 10-person company and you know that the owner or manager is really good at what they do, that they're growing, let's say, and you have a chance to learn directly from someone. That could be another really good opportunity. So think about, what could I learn? Don't make these next few years some waste where you, and I know that's what you're trying not to do, that's why you asked me the question. Don't waste these next few years where you feel like you just have to slave away to make a bit of money before you can go for it again. Look at it as a chance to develop your knowledge and your skills and prepare for the next time you're going to go for it. And the same thing is true if you're an artist and you're watching this and you want to have a job, you need to be earning money, but your main desire is to grow your business around your art, whatever that is, whether it's painting or recording some kind of music or filming videos or writing, whatever it happens to be. Ask yourself, what are the skills you could develop that will help you succeed in the future? Maybe something like digital marketing, learning how to grow online on Instagram, or learn photo editing, or learn some kind of marketing in general. Maybe something like that would help your creative business grow. Maybe getting some kind of management job, even though it might seem totally counterintuitive, maybe learning how to manage people will be really useful, because as an artist, you like to just create. And so learning how to hire people and manage people might help you get that marketing person or that freelancer to work for you in the future and help you grow your business. So the two main choices there are, find something that's going to be fun and allow you to really recharge yourself and also just be enjoying your day-to-day and maybe discover some opportunities. Or the second approach, and of course you can combine these two, that's even better. The second approach is to figure out the skills you need to develop to succeed in the future and find some kind of a job that allows you to develop those skills. The last thing I'll add here, you mentioned in your email to me that you really had a way of going all in and financially hurting yourself with your businesses. Think about that the next time you work for yourself. What could you do with your business model, with your approach, to not make it such a stretch? Two of the main businesses I started, one was a freelance copywriting business and the other was a coaching business. In both cases, I had income of, I'd say, at least $1,000, if not a bit over that, within the first couple of weeks of starting that business. So why not take that approach? In many, many businesses, it's possible to start with money coming in from day one. I've done it in a lot of different businesses. It's just all about how you approach things. And if you start with money coming in from the very beginning, you have more confidence, you have less stress and less risk, obviously, and it really helps you build that momentum early. This is why sometimes when people start their businesses with a loan or with savings, they don't have nearly the same amount of momentum and just kind of urgency and motivation as you do when you start a business where you have to make it work. And fortunately, most of the time that I've started a business, I have not been basing it off savings or a loan. I've just jumped right in and made sure that there's enough cash flow to keep it going from the beginning. I'd highly recommend changing around your thinking a bit and thinking of ways that you could do that. And for anyone watching, if you are interested in building your own freelancing business or coaching business and doing so in a way that does cash flow early, I do offer a free email training and a ton of other insights and training around this topic. So I'll include a card that will pop up and a link below in the description. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, the bell, and I will catch you in the next video soon.